Imagine a desert stretching for thousands of kilometers, an ocean of sand that holds secrets the modern world has never dared to reveal. The Sahara, known for its beauty and harshness, conceals more than just mirages and scorching winds. It harbors traces of a forbidden history that could change everything we know about the origins of the peoples of the Americas. For decades, archaeologists explored the Sahara in search of clues about ancient civilizations. Among forgotten tombs and buried ruins, they discovered something that defied all conventional theories: extraordinary mummifications, preserved almost supernaturally by the arid climate. But these were not ordinary mummies. Some of these bodies showed features that did not match any known populations in North Africa. Experts were stunned. Initial DNA analyses revealed something shocking: genetic traces pointing to a direct connection with ancient peoples of the Americas, thousands of kilometers away. But how could this be possible? How could these lineages cross oceans and continents without leaving clear historical records? What makes this discovery even more forbidden is the fact that many governments and academic institutions tried to suppress or minimize these findings. Lost documents, classified reports, and partially destroyed scientific studies suggest there was a perceived threat. If the origins of the Americas were rewritten, the entire conventional history of ancient civilizations would need to be questioned. Among the mummies, researchers found individuals with cranial and dental traits unlike any known African population. Even more intriguing, artifacts buried alongside the body's ceramics, amulets, and inscriptions contain symbols reminiscent of pre-Columbian cultures. Some of these symbols have yet to be deciphered, but preliminary studies suggest they represent star maps, navigation routes, and records of migrations. Picture the scene: an archaeological team in the desert, the sun dipping below the horizon, carefully unearthing a mummy over 3,000 years old, while the Sahara's dust seems to whisper forgotten secrets. Every discovery seemed to reinforce the hypothesis of a lost bridge between the Old World and the New World, long before the voyages of Christopher Columbus. DNA evidence was even more disturbing. Samples taken from the mummies revealed markers previously found only in indigenous populations of Central and South America. Experts in comparative genetics were in shock. Some questioned the authenticity of the results, but independent tests confirmed the connections. The mummification techniques were unlike those of Egypt or North Africa, displaying unique methods of preservation using resins and minerals not reproducible by modern science. This suggested not just advanced knowledge, but a highly sophisticated culture capable of manipulating natural materials with precise, millennia-old skill. Even more astonishing, these discoveries were not isolated. Across the Sahara, other archaeological sites revealed similar patterns. It seemed that an entire population, possibly a lost civilization, had close ties with what would become pre-Columbian America. But why had this knowledge been hidden for centuries? Some theorists suggest that economic, political, and religious interests preferred to maintain the official historical narrative, while evidence of the forbidden connection remained buried. Others believe secret societies have safeguarded this knowledge for millennia, fearing its revelation could trigger a global cultural upheaval. Imagine the impact on the history we learned in school. The first Americans were not isolated peoples migrating through the Bering Strait. They had deep connections with ancient African civilizations, crossing oceans and sharing advanced scientific and cultural knowledge long before any official records acknowledge it. Among the artifacts and mummies, one particular item might hold the key to the entire mystery, something that, if properly studied, could finally reveal how and when the first Americans truly arrived. But there was a problem. This artifact mysteriously disappeared from the International Museum where it was being analyzed. Some believe it was stolen by those who feared the truth coming to light. Others suggest powerful forces continued to manipulate the narrative of human history, ensuring certain secrets remain hidden from the public. The artifact's disappearance seemed more than theft. Hidden in a private collection in a remote desert property, it contained symbols and inscriptions that hinted at technological secrets and migration routes, and once analyzed would reveal a direct link between the Sahara and the earliest peoples of the Americas. The inscriptions were unlike anything previously encountered. Linguists and archaeologists were astonished to find a combination of ancient African symbols and pre-Columbian pictograms, suggesting a civilization had developed its own form of writing, connecting cultures across thousands of kilometers long before recorded history. Each symbol appeared charged with meaning, showing that Sahara travelers possessed advanced knowledge of navigation and astronomy. DNA comparisons reinforced the astonishment. Some markers were unique, found only in specific indigenous populations of the Caribbean and South America. The first Americans may have partially originated from ancient Sahara populations, a theory previously deemed impossible. Further analysis revealed patterns resembling advanced agricultural systems, river mapping, and irrigation techniques that would only appear centuries later in recorded history. The Sahara travelers were not mere migrants. They were explorers and scientists of their time, carrying knowledge capable of transforming entire civilizations. Among the inscriptions, some appeared to be coded warnings, describing natural phenomena, diseases, and potential epidemics. The travelers seemed aware of large-scale disasters and tried to prepare future generations. Governments and organizations controlling archaeological information began to show interest in the artifact, applying pressure and withholding documents. Yet the research team continued, knowing that each discovery could alter everything known about human history. Using modern imaging and navigation simulation technology, they reconstructed possible transatlantic routes, suggesting Sahara populations could have utilized ocean currents and astronomical knowledge to reach the Caribbean and South America long before any accepted historical account. This not only challenged migration theories via the Bering Strait, but indicated a lost network of global exploration and cultural exchange. The technological, scientific, and genetic evidence pointed to a society that anticipated phenomena only rediscovered millennia later: astronomy, ocean navigation, and rudimentary medical science. It was as if this ancient society had been deliberately erased from history, leaving only fragmented clues for those daring enough to investigate. Other similar artifacts were rumored to exist in remote areas of Africa and the Americas, all pointing to the same forbidden connection. The artifact was just the tip of the iceberg. As the expedition reached the Americas, guided by the decoded inscriptions, the team discovered evidence that no known civilization could explain. Stone structures of extraordinary precision, artifacts identical to those found in the Sahara, and even mummified remains showed identical genetic markers, confirming the transatlantic connection. These ancient travelers had shared knowledge, technology, and culture, a lost network of human ingenuity stretching across continents. Among the remains were warnings and coded messages about hidden dangers and future epidemics. The inscription suggested that the legacy of these travelers was deliberately kept secret to protect or control subsequent generations. The combination of DNA and artifacts left no doubt the earliest peoples of the Americas were directly linked to ancient Sahara populations. The official story of migration through the Bering Strait was incomplete. Crucial parts of human history had been buried, obscured, and censored. Even as the discoveries became undeniable, there were attempts to suppress the truth. Reports, photos, and samples vanished, and team members received veiled warnings. Powerful entities did not want this information public. Still, the scientific evidence could not be denied. Humanity had always been more interconnected than previously thought, with knowledge and culture spanning continents long before history recorded it. The Sahara travelers had crossed deserts and oceans, bringing science, art, and wisdom hidden for millennia in both the Sahara and the depths of the New World. Each mummy, artifact, and symbol is more than a historical relic. It is a testament to what humanity might have been if erased from collective memory. The questions remain. How many more artifacts and evidences are hidden, waiting to be discovered? What other secrets could rewrite the history of other regions? And, perhaps most importantly, who still wants these truths to remain buried? The connection between the Sahara and the earliest peoples of the Americas is no longer theory. It is history, science, and truth buried, forbidden, but finally revealed. And if this discovery changes everything we knew about human history, imagine what else remains hidden. Share your thoughts and join the investigation into the truths the history books never wanted you to know.